morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Dr. Jan Fortman with Relationship Matters TV. I hope everyone is having a beautiful, blessed day. It's a beautiful day here in Chicago. I can even say in sunny Chicago. The temperature is like in the 70s. It's not hot and humid. It's a beautiful day. I love it. I love it. I hope it's a very nice day where you are in the world. As you know, I am a relationship communications coach. Are you having difficulties in your relationships, in your personal and professional relationships? If you are, just reach out to me. If people misunderstand you, if they misinterpret your words, or if your relationships are stressful, you can change your communication and change your relationships. I am here to coach you to the personal and professional relationships that you desire. All you have to do is contact me at Dr. Jan. That is Dr. Jan, Dr. Jan, Jan, at Dr. Janice, Janice, Fortman, Fortman.com. Dr. Jan at drjanicefortman.com. Well, enough about me. Oh, we're going to get to our guest. And let me tell you about him. His name is Mark Entrekin. Achieving unity as we end hate, anger, and prejudice toward others. Oh, do we need that? Now, he may be known by his master's degree in organizational management or his Bachelor of Science degree in business information systems, or his work over the past decade in Toastmasters. Love Toastmasters. Or possibly by the multitude of certification acronyms that follow his email signature, or, and this is what I love about him, because of his love of good red wine. We're going to talk about that because I want to know which one is his favorite. And the notes, the nose, and the palate. But his passion is to continue his motivational and positive attitude as he wants to share the truths that many of us seem to avoid through our own portraits of illusions. His company, Reality Focused Dynamics, focuses on helping leaders, organizations, and professionals see the realities in life that may be avoided or forgotten too many times. I think that's a lot of us. As we continuously receive media information or soundbite slurring or political jabs of junk or Twitter tirades, how can we exhibit a positive attitude as we continue our day-to-day life around acquaintances, co-workers, friends, and families? Mark he shows us and will show us today how to understand the strength in the values of caring, helping, and including others as we end hate, anger, and prejudice. EHAP, I like that. EHAP, hate, anger, and prejudice, as we ended professionally and personally. So I want to welcome, and I want you to welcome a person that truly wants to share an honesty that we can carry with us, that we can share with others, and help us focus on a better world for tomorrow. So I'm going to bring to you, without further ado, Mark Entry.
Hey,
Hello, Mark.
hey, Dr. Jan, thank you so much. That was an awesome introduction. I appreciate all of your great words.
So you said to yourself, I want to meet him. You know what I want to ask you first? What is your favorite red wine?
That's a great question because I am a Cabernet Franc fan, and that's where Cabernet Sauvignon even came from many years ago. It's the grape that grows, and that's how they developed the Cabernet Sauvignon was the Cabernet Franc grape. But it's deeper, it's a little bit more strong, it's got a lot more character, and a touch of pepper. I love that in a grape, and it just fulfills that taste. And as you mentioned, down your palate, in your sinuses, your nose, it truly opens up. So you have some value in what you're drinking, and it truly lingers for quite a while after enjoying your wine.
You know, you have excellent taste because I
Thank
am
you.
a Cabernet Sauvignon girl.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, yes, yes. And like you said, that that pepper, that little hint of pepper. Now, I don't like cherry in it, but I like the dark currants.
Mhm.
And I belong to a club called the South Side Wine Divas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I used to be a white wine girl, Pinot Grigio.
Mhm.
But I love my red wine. I love my Cabernet Sauvignon. You know, excellent taste.
Can I tell a quick story on that? Because you just brought up another point. This goes into our life itself. When my son was younger, he drinking age, he enjoyed the sweeter wines. I said, "Fine, son, enjoy your white wines. They're good. I drink a Pinot Grigio. I drink Sauvignon Blanc, which is my favorite. I will drink some Chardonnay. But I said, drink your white, but always save room for your red. Taste it." And after about a decade, he did the same thing. He converted. He transitioned over to the red wine. And there's just something different about the character of a red considered compared to the white. But it doesn't mean I don't like white because if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, give or take, nice hot day, a good chilled white is still so good.
What? Look, I guess my guests are saying, "Wow, we we got an education in wine." But you know what? When you drink a good glass of wine, that helps you to end hate, anger, and prejudice. So let's
Yes.
talk more so about what you do. And I have a question so we can get this out of the way. We know the political climate of today. And you said something about media misinformation, and you said something about political jabs of junk. Just kind of Twitter tirades, the whole thing. Just kind of elaborate a little bit on that.
One of the problems that we have today that has gone on for centuries, or 247 years now, as far as the United States of America, even way back when, our political writing is in what's called legal ease. Why is that? Now, we have a Bible that's 2,000 years old, but do you see a lot of time there's a Bible interpretation? We have different Bibles that interpret what was written 2,000 years ago. Why don't we write our laws that we use on a daily basis? If you expect me to follow the law, why don't you write it in a way that I can understand the law? How many times today are we seeing court decisions go back to a Supreme Court because the court system itself does not understand the law that it wrote? Our laws go through the legislature, go through the House, they go through the Senate, they're voted on, they're passed, Then they go to a legal committee and they're written into legal words, legal terminology, jabs of junk. Who can read them? Our own judges can't read them. And what is the judge? Isn't the judge just another lawyer with 5 or more years of adversarial experience? Adversarial? What's adversarial? Well, right, wrong, good, bad, likes you, doesn't like you, likes what you're wearing, doesn't like what you're wearing, likes your attitude, doesn't like your attitude. That is what our problem is in our courts today. And people that have gone through even such as a divorce or a traffic ticket may see this themselves in our own courtrooms of today based on the way things were 200 plus years ago.
Totally. You really explained that very well, and it really gives us food for thought. I just wanted to, kind of get that out of the way. This evening is right after the show. The presidential debates, and I just want to tell people this is just me. To, we disagree about a lot of us. You talk to people, we disagree about politics. I just want to urge everyone, no matter what, vote. That is our right. It was fought for over the years. Vote. Do not give up your right. If you don't like this one, you like that one. If you don't like this one, you like that one. If you don't like either one, or if you like them both, vote. So that's it. That's I'm off of my soapbox.
May I carry that a little bit further, Dr. Chan? Just,
Sure.
just, just briefly, I
Sure.
agree with you 1,000%. Vote, because if you don't vote, you cannot complain. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
If you don't vote, don't complain.
Thank you.
The problem today is people aren't voting. My license plate on my car, I just sold it, but my license plate on my car was RIDL, Riddle, RIDL. It stood for Republican, Independent, Democratic, Libertarian, RIDL, Riddle. Why is it such a riddle, Republican, Independent, Democratic, Libertarian? Why is it such a riddle to build a better world for our children?
Yes.
Why? We need to talk to, we need to listen to that debate tonight. We need to decide, well, there'll be more debates. We need to decide who is better at building a better world for us, but especially for our children and our grandchildren going forward. And the first step would be writing laws that we all can understand, right?
Exactly. I totally agree with you. And now here's the question before we can let me see what this question is. We can debate about our ideologies, but we should not have a bitter debate about what is right. That was not a question, but a comment that came in. So I know, we can get some text and some comments, and so yes. So now, um, let me ask you this. Is something that you said, and I want you to elaborate on this. You talk about our portraits of illusion. What is that?
Portraits of illusion are a lot of times our culture, our learning. What did we learn with our families when we were young? What did we learn in school? What did we learn with our acquaintances? What did we learn in our jobs, our high schools, our colleges? What did we learn as far as our culture that many times are nothing more than a portrait of illusion because we listen to other people and what other people say, we buy into it. We can say, Johnny said this, Janie said that, Sammy said this, Susie said that. And we build our cultures on that. If we take children that are 1, 2, 3 years old playing together, they don't care if you're red, yellow, black, brown, or white. They don't care so much if you have a challenge of some sort. They want to have fun. We need to get back into that mode and quit being prejudiced toward each other. There's no reason to be thinking about the illusions those cultures that we have set up some way, somehow, years ago, that we carry forward, and they're illusions of nonsense because we learned something that may have had a value to someone at some time. They're not valuable today. Where is the value? We're not gaining from it. It's just an illusion that someone thought previously that has no value to it. It's a bias that was set up and we carry it forward. We must stop that illusion and start working on reality, and we are all the same. I don't want to talk too long at one point, but I have another point I can bring up later. We are all the same in so many ways. Our minds, we all are very intelligent. We all can do what we want to do, but it's to get rid of those portraits of illusion and start working with the facts, the realities that we know are right today.
So how do we do that?
Number one,
How do you help us? You know, I know this is something that how do you do that? How do you help us to do that?
hey, that's a beautiful question, Dr. Jen. Thank you so much. How I'd first like to help do that is tell you a quick story about when I was born down in southern Mississippi, mostly black communities. I was injured in an automobile accident. I was taken an injured accident. They couldn't take care of me in the local hospital. Had a head injury. I've got multiple scars over here, scars here, back, chest. As a critical condition, they helicoptered me to Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Mm.
And there I had brain surgery twice, went into intensive care twice, operated, and I took in 9 pints of blood in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. What of that blood was a white middle class male going to college, didn't smoke, no tattoos, education like this? How many pints of that blood had that in there? How many do you think? Who knows? Do you think my mother and father cared where that blood came from? Could I have red, yellow, black, brown, or white blood in my body? Absolutely. There's 4 blood types: A, B, and O. All of us around the world, Scandinavia, Russia, China, Antarctica, 4 blood types: A, B, and O. Some call all of them blood groups. It's the same thing. There's a positive and negative each one of them, but the O negative is a universal donor. Anyone can have it. Anyone can take it.
Mhm.
O negative, O positive, any positive. Like I'm A positive, I can take A positive blood, O positive blood, or O negative blood. So I could have any kind of blood inside me. But the bottom line is, did my parents care if the person that donated that blood had too many tattoos? If the person smoked? No. They wanted me to receive the blood that was going to keep me alive. And all of us, anytime we get angry at anyone, anytime we think we have a prejudice toward anyone, think they could be your blood type. They could be the donor that could save you, your children, your family, your grandparents. If they ever in the hospital, the blood that they need to stay alive could be given by the person that you're angry with, no matter what race, creed, color, sexual orientation, gender, educational level. We've got to open up our minds to realize there are still 4 blood types, 4 blood groups, and that's how we all live today, through that circulation of love, through the blood that travels through our heart.
Okay. Well, that's something that I never really thought about, but you are so right. Um, I know my husband was in the hospital for a while, and he had to have blood transfusions, and I didn't ask. We didn't ask. Okay, it's the blood from a black man. Where's the blood coming from? No, we just wanted to know, you have his blood type. Can he have some blood? So
How do you know that when you were pulling into that hospital parking lot, that guy that jumped in front of you and got your parking place, that you might have said a couple of not so favorable things to might have been the one that just donated the blood that helped save somebody in your family's life. The,
You know, yes. And you're exactly right. So so now do you do, I know you help leaders and professional people to get past that, hate and anger and like you say, portraits of illusions. Now, what about just like regular people? You coach?
absolutely.
Like when I say regular people, I mean, let's say people who are not entrepreneurs or business people. How does your program work?
I do. I work with a lot of people that are maybe lost in some way or another, not sure of themselves, not confident in themselves. One of my major lines of support is through people that have been through a divorce, are going through a divorce, they have children, and they're having troubles, almost like with you, the communication. They're having communication battles. And again, back to what we talked about earlier, those cultures, that learning. Well, who owns the child? Nobody owns the child. That custody, that custodial award by some judge who has no idea about your family, more than the way which is brought in the court, that just a little bit, no idea, give someone custody or residential custody, and the kids go back and forth on parenting time. They used to call it visitation, but I helped change that in Colorado. No parent or grandparent is a visitor in their own child or grandchild's life. So it's parenting time, it's not visitation. But when that time does come, and when they have separated or divorced, that sharing of time needs to be handled in a very positive basis. We don't want to talk bad about either spouse. What you say to each other, fine. Don't say it in front of the children, but build more of a friendship that we know that the children are going to be here for a certain time period. Support that. You're going to be with your mother. You're going to be with your father. I'm sure you're going to have fun. Yes, it is difficult for all of us to make a change in our life, and it is a change to them. They have to worry about homework if they're still in school. There's things they have to deal with. So I work a lot with parents going through divorce and custody issues, parenting time issues, and again, like you, Dr. Jan, that communication, that collaboration is the key that will unlock that door to success. So I help a lot of people, professional level, corporate level, C suite, CEO, CIO, CFO, senior managers, and the teams that report to them. And
Okay.
that could be anyone that is having any kind of trouble with their own anger, maybe a prejudice, a hate towards something. So I work with a lot of people just going through some things that sometimes we know or we feel we know, but putting it into action sometimes is difficult for all of us. Even myself as a coach, I have a coach. I have a couple of coaches that I work
So
with.
do I. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Coaches, you need coaches also.
Exactly. And that's where I help people get a grasp sometimes when we say, well, I know what I'm doing. Well, we all do know what we're doing, but are we doing it the best we can? Are we truly putting out, like you're saying, to the right, to be able to understand what's the better of the situation? Because sometimes it's hard to determine, is it right, wrong, is it good, bad? Is it a little like the traffic light? Is it red? Is it green? Is it yellow? We have to make decisions, and sometimes it's tough. And to come to a coach like yourself, myself, I have 7 week programs, 7 session programs, 10 session programs, and 12 session programs that we can use to work on any and all issues dealing with your own self confidence and what you want to do with yourself and your family today and build toward that better tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, and I know you do a lot as far as anger is concerned. And in those situations, especially the family situation, there can be a lot of anger issues, and it's hard sometimes to get over that feeling of anger. Do you have steps that you go through, or how do you help people get over anger? And it can be anger at something that's happening right now. It can be anger over something that happened years ago that people still hold. So what do you do about that?
Dr. Jen, thank you, because that is one of the things that I build in my 7-step program. One of the things we have to do is understand the words. And that's why I am so excited about the people that are going to help me. And I hope you will, I hope your audience will. Talk to your legislators, talk to whoever you feel is best as the president about our legal system and the writing of our laws, because most of the time we do not understand. So let's just take one word quickly that happens a lot. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it when it rains on our parade. We hate that. Well, what is hate? Hate is having accelerated, troubled expectations. Hate, Hate, having accelerated, troubled expectations. That's what we hate. We have troubled expectations of things that we may not know what's going to happen, but we have a hate for it instead of having help, HELP, having excellent leadership plans, HELP, having excellent leadership plans. That's how we get beyond hate. Whenever we're in an argument, what's creating the argument? Somebody spilled the coffee, somebody spilled something in the kitchen. What happened that there is enough value in the hate to give you any value at all? Where is the value in that? Anger. This is huge. What is anger? Anger is nothing more than actions not gaining effective results. ANGER. Actions not gaining effective results. If you're not getting effective results, why are you angry? Where is the value? Where's the value? Instead of being angry, be calm. CALM. Canceling anger leads motivation. The more we cancel that anger, the more we can lead ourselves and others into motivation. We can't motivate someone else, but by motivating ourselves, that alone could motivate others. So I work with people in understanding what that hate is, what that anger is. And it's like you said, that EHAP, end, anger, hate, and prejudice. Hate, anger, prejudice, EHAP.
Mhm.
That's where we go in the process. And I help people get into that mode. There's other levels, there's some sub levels we will talk about, but that's where we need to start. And then when we talk about prejudice, everybody knows about the race, creed, color, sexual orientation, gender. There's the basic ones, highly over exaggerated because of, like, just talking about knowing your blood type. There should be so little prejudice there. But we are prejudiced a lot of times. Probably you've heard me talk already, and you may have caught my Southern accent. What do you think about those Southern people? Do you have a good feeling for them? Bad feeling for them? What about those California people? What do you feel about them? What about those New York people? What about those Boston accents? A lot of times we build prejudices we don't even think about. What about that person that doesn't talk well? One that does talk well? We have so many prejudices that we don't even think about it until they happen. So I help people understand what prejudice, what I say was, which is poor reactions echoing jealousy and undermined delivery of an immature, cruel ego. Prejudice. Poor reactions echoing jealousy and undermined delivery of an immature and cruel ego. That's how prejudice has been. What I want to do is take prejudice, PREJUDICE, positive reactions, echoing justice and understanding delivered inclusion by creating excellence. That's what prejudice can be: positive reactions, echoing justice, and understanding deliberate inclusion by creating excellence. We go through those steps. We help people get away from that hate, anger, and prejudice and have a stronger, better life going forward.
Woo! I love your acronyms. You know,
Yep.
yeah, you know, yes, and to me, this is just me. It just seems like, as what did they used to say? I don't know if they said it in Mississippi, but what is it? A hard road to hoe or
Hard
something?
road to hoe.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Wow. That is so much, and you see so much of it. Now, a question came in. Have you thought about, what is this? Getting your information into schools?
Absolutely.
Kids need to learn more than their standard curriculum. It is so much, you see so much of that anger in our young people,
And
and the hate and the prejudice.
thank you so much. That is so true. And where I'm going right now, since you mentioned that, that is my main drive, is to go to the universities first and
Okay.
start working with universities, because look at the anger that we have right now because of the wars in Israel. I'm not saying anyone is right or wrong, but too much of that anger is turning to violence. And I just put an article that will come out in this coming Thursday's newsletter about there is no value to any sort of emotional or physical violence. And that's what's happening. So if we can talk to more at the college, university level, I think we have a great way to expand this further. But I also have a program for the juniors and seniors in high school. I just need to know who to talk to. So if you could let me know, call me, connect with me, I would love to chat with you further.
That would be wonderful. And any of you out there who are, and I know there are some educators that watch the show. If you know of any school districts wherever you are, this is something, a program that could really, really help our, and you have the at the university level and the other level, and the thing is, our young people look at that, and they model themselves after that. And you're right, there is no reason for violence. Here in Chicago, we have a fountain, Buckingham Fountain. And even I remember a long time ago when I was a kid, the Queen of England came. So there was a demonstration, and then someone put red paint in the water, and you know wrote things around, and people come from all over the world to see this fountain. And to me, okay, I'm not going to say, who did it or what side did it, but it had to do Palestine and Israel. So I'm not going to say which ones did it. But it's like, this does not call attention for someone to have empathy or sympathy towards what you're fighting for. This makes people angry. I hate anger, but and to me it was just senseless. Let's see. Here's a comment or a question. Let me see what it says. Oh, Jacqueline. Let me show it. Jacqueline Rogers says, "How do you feel about the ending slash pushback against DEI?"
I think that the diversity, equity, and inclusion is so important. And I don't like to push back on it. But one of the things where you don't have time to go in right there, but what about the understanding of what DEI truly means? Okay. A lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot, but let's just say too many people in DEI are asking for more than just taking that diversity, equity, and inclusion from today forward. They're wanting to go back and say, we should redo this. We should award some people things. And there's no doubt that a lot of people have done a lot of great work. But what we've got to do today and focus with DEI is how we take that diversity today and build forward. Let's be diverse today. Yesterday has occurred. Let's take care of that in another process. Don't tie that into DEI. Equity, the same thing. The equity of our life. There's a lot of people that in the past, the equity of their lives were destroyed by other people. There is no doubt about it. But let's put that into another bucket and work on that there. Inclusion. We need that so much today. That is so strong in what we are all about. And it goes into my example of the blood types. There's only four. We are all included in those four blood types everywhere around the world. So DEI, I'm all for it, but let's continue with DEI as what it stands for. Let's define it, make sure everyone understands what that diversity, equity, and inclusion means. No, not pulling anything from behind, not pulling anything from anywhere else. Let's take that part of DEI and take it forward. And that's what I want to work with was inclusion of achieving unity with all of us, because that's what it takes. And that's how we can grow forward. Put the past where the past needs to be. There's still some things that need to be recovered, but let's don't bring that into DEI. Let's don't bring that into achieving unity. Let's take what we have today and build on that foundation strong going forward. Would that work?
Well, I see what Jacqueline says. If she's typing something in, see what she feels about what you just said. But all of that ties into what you said about portraits of
Yeah.
illusions. All of that ties into that. I mean, that's to me a very kind of deep subject. When we look back at what happened, things that happened. Okay, she did. Let's see what she
And
says.
while she's typing
She
that,
said yes.
thank you, Jacqueline. Let's work together. Please contact me. I'd love for us to work together. But can I touch on something else you just mentioned about the people standing up and I'm losing the word right now, but George Floyd, that was such a detrimental, hurtful, hard problem. That was so wrong. I'm getting chills as I talk about this in so many ways. We did a march in Denver, Colorado. And like a lot of towns, they have a 16th Street Mall. No normal vehicles, just a bus system, transit system goes up and down it. We marched one end to the other. Well, a group of people, not the majority, not the people that wanted justice for George, his family, and the law to be carried forward as it must. But there were a lot of people, when they make malls like that, they put these huge flower pots out there, beautiful
Yeah.
flowers, decorations. There were some people that went in and started breaking those flower pots, turning them over and breaking windows. And we see that in a lot of the rebellion around the United States, well, around the world. And you know what? That those flower pots, for example, are tax dollar flower pots.
You're
When you
right.
break those, how do you replace them? Yours and my tax dollar. Those are replaced by our money. What good does that do? Those windows that are broken, what happens? The stores have to raise prices to pay for those windows. That's what we have to come together. Let's march. Let's slow down that traffic. Let's get out there in that road and slow them down. Let's get laws written that we can all understand, including our judges. Our judges and our lawyers must understand the law better. But the same thing with our marches. Let's make sure people understand this is a peaceful march, but we know what happened was wrong, and we want to make sure everyone else knows, and let's work together. Unity, DEI, achieving unity. Let's work together so everyone knows that is not going to happen again.
You're right, but I'm going to say this: when they're coming in and breaking windows and breaking pots and destroying fountains and whatever. A lot of that, I think, is like an opportune. They see this as an opportune time to do something that has nothing at all to do with the protest or anything like that. It's like when other people come in, when they find out that a lot of the people who came in don't even live in
Like some of the universities, the people that are in the demonstrations were paid. That's what was in the news a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month and a half ago. The people weren't even for the university. They were paid to come out there and to do that. We have got to stop those people. We've got to stop the people who are paying them. We got to find out who that was, and let's all be righteous together.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Our time goes by so fast. So,
Wow.
I, so what I want to let people know how they can reach you, and I love this. They can even call you at 303-362-8733, and that stands for 303 Focused.
Reality focused.
F
303 focused.
Focused. And you can reach him at mark@markentrekin.com. And that's MARK at MARKENTREKIN.com.
Thank
So,
you.
Mark, I want you just to give us something that you want to leave with. You told us, you've given us so much value,
Oh,
but
thank you.
just one something that you want to leave with us that can stick right here in our minds and in our hearts.
Well, let me share one more communication, and that's www.achievingunity.com. www.achievingunity.com, because life is as good as we make it. So let's make it awesome. Life is as good as we make it. So let's make it awesome. I hope to see you there. I want to work with you.
Thank you so much, Mark. You have given us so much to think about. And you know what? You're making me think about acronyms. Ooh. And what I want you to do for people who came in late, because I can see the numbers where people like, okay, so you just not coming in. What I want you to do after this, Mark, where are you now? I know you said you were traveling.
Right now, I am physically in New Orleans, Louisiana. My
Oh,
family lives in southern Mississippi, so I'm visiting with my brothers. I have two brothers and sister down here, and lots of cousins. And I'll be going back to Denver here very shortly. Denver, Colorado, Broomfield, Colorado, all the Denver metro area. But I travel wherever I need to
okay.
bring this message. 45 to 60 minutes. Bring this to people. Let's share it with each other and build it. I have a course that starts October 8th. The registration will start September 3rd. So get in contact with me, www.achievingunity.com. Call me at 303 Focused. The registration starts September 3rd. Course starts October 8th. But it's going to be going through all the things that we're talking about, which is achieving unity, caring for each other, but ending hate, anger, and prejudice. EHAP, ending hate, anger, and prejudice. And we can do it if we just understand how, right?
Right. So what I want you to do, Mark, is I know you said you're in a hotel, is to go down to the bar and get a nice glass of Cabernet Sauvignon and have a beautiful rest of your evening.
As you say that, I am at, there's a wines Just a second, I'm going to find it real quick. Uh, it's on Orleans Street, and that's where I'm going next.
Okay.
Here to say Orleans between Bourbon and Royal. It's a wine restaurant.
Okay. And you're gonna have your glass of Cabernet Sauvignon with a touch of pepper and a lot of tannins and full bodied, and you're going to enjoy the rest of your evening.
I'm going to be talking to Mark and Mike. Mark is the gentleman that runs the bar. It's called Orleans Grapevine Wine Bar and Bistro. That's going to be 10 minutes after my sweetheart's over there right now. Orleans Grapevine Wine Bar and Bistro. And that will be with Mike and Mark. Mike's a bartender. And I'm just wishing you could all be there with me.
Well, you know what? Since this is recorded, I'm going to remember that. And then the next time I'm in New Orleans, I'm going there and I'm going to tell them who referred me. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Dr. Jan, thank you. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor being on this show with you. All of your kids, your audience, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All righty. See you next time.
Enjoy, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Wow, this has been great. This is good. Well, he had, oh my goodness, he had a lot. You know, I think his work is just so important to end hate, anger, and just prejudice, just all of that. It's just something that really needs to happen today. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank my guests who submitted questions and comments. I just love it when you do that. And I want you to remember this. Remember, I am a relationship expert. And if people misunderstand you, and I know that happens because it happens with me sometimes. If people misinterpret your words, if you have stressful relationships, personal or professional relationships, when you change your communication, you change your relationships. So contact me if you want me to assist you in having the personal, professional relationships that you desire. You can contact me at Dr. Jan. That is Dr. Jan at drjanicefortman.com. See you again next time on Relationship Matters TV. And remember, there are all kinds of relationships and all kinds of relationship matters. So I will see you again next time. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Bye-bye.
5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they could have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com.